the atrium of the Westin Hotel.
Yes.
This is Music Fest weekend, and finally, we get to kick off this podcast. Katrina, what are we going to be talking about?
We are so excited about our podcast. Well, first of all, can we just talk about the lineup? Keel, my man, is going to be here. Maxwell, hey, Maxwell, hey.
Yes.
Maxwell's going to be here doing audition. And so we thought it would be the perfect time to kick off our broadcast to talk about women's issues. We know the city is full with women from all over, not just here, but all over the country. And so we are going to talk about the things that impact us the most that nobody wants to talk about. We're going to talk about our physical health. You know, what is it that we need to do at this stage? We're all trying to work out, but are we working out correctly? Are we getting the best benefit? Deborah, throw out another topic.
Yes, we're going to be talking about hormones. We're going to be talking about night sweats. We're going to be talking about friendships, women's friendships as we age. Is your definition of a friend the same as it was when you were a young woman? I think not.
No, ma'am. You need something completely different at this stage in life. We're also going to talk about our sexual health, too. You know, what is it that we need to do to take care of all of us? You know, we are three-part type, mind, body, spirit, so we need to take care of all of that. We're going to be talking about all that over the next 2 days, so you got to tune in and hear what we've got going on.
Absolutely. Stop by and see us, pick a topic, and let's get into it. Let's talk.
Let's talk. Hey, everybody, it's Woman to Woman podcast, and we are so excited to be here. Deborah and I are in the house, and today we are talking about friendship and how it evolves over time. Deborah, when you think back to when you were young and what you wanted in friendship, what did it look like to you?
I don't think it looked like anything specific because it was more about 100% for me. It was always about no matter what the friendship looked like, accepting what it was.
Oh, wow.
You know? Whether that worked for me or not, whether it made me feel good about myself, made me feel good about the situation. I just felt like the rules of the road was to go along to get along.
Oh, wow.
Right?
So when you say accepting, you mean whatever they gave.
Whatever they gave, whether it was healthy, whether it was unhealthy. And the way it's changed for me is I'm looking for people that help me elevate. You know, I see in them reflected what I want to be, and I'm always looking for ways to support. And I'm looking for people who have the same definition of friendship that I do, and that's one of the things I like about you. You know, I feel like we're compatible in our definition of what it means to support each other. I feel like fundamentally you're a good person.
Thank you.
And I know that I have struggles with things. Okay. So I need to have people in my life where they're going to look at me and I'm going to know because you don't. You go. Here's your thing with me. You go, well. And I know that's my cue to calm down, think about what you're saying and doing. Okay? So what about you?
It's so true, though. When you think about being younger, I think you're right. You know, it evolves over time. When you're younger, you just want a friend. You just want to have somebody there. And so you will overlook things or you will take things that even in the moment you know isn't the best for you, but you just want to be connected with somebody.
Absolutely.
And I think, like you said, as we get older, we're less dependent on that. We're less in that space of where I just have to have anybody. Well, one, because you've been burned and we've experienced when you don't have an expectation with a friend, what happens.
Absolutely.
And, you know, I'm sure you could speak to that. I could speak to it where we've had experiences in friendships that we thought was one thing, but really ended up being another.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And, you know, one of the things that's always been really interesting to me is when I have a friend in my life and they can't really tolerate new people. That's extremely challenging for me because in the past, because I don't really deal with that anymore.
Right, Deborah ain't gonna do it a whole lot, y'all. She just say can't do it.
But
she's like the trainer.
Okay, but look, wait a minute, we got a weak link here. But you know, in the past, I felt like, okay, well, I need to not deal with that person because I know that my girl doesn't like that person. Even if I really like them, I found myself sneaking around, trying to be their friend and not really talking about the thing. It's just immature. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I'm in a completely different place with that. The women that I engage with now, our definitions are the same because we're goal oriented, and it's more about, like I said earlier, elevating each other and supporting each other.
Yes, and we're going to talk more about elevating each other. We'll be right back after this break.
Absolutely. Stay tuned, folks. Okay, we're back, folks. And Katrina, where were we on that?
Yes, so welcome back to Woman Collaborative podcast. We are talking about friendships today, and we left off at saying, as we mature, as we grow, and begin to understand ourselves better, then we know what we're looking for in a friend, because we're looking for somebody that's going to enhance us, somebody that's going to make us better. Just like you, Deborah, you're very to the point, you're very driven, and I need that for me because I can go off the rails easy. You'll be like, now, wait a minute, Katrina, something ain't right. Something ain't right. Something ain't right. I'm like, what? I'm all out to the left.
Yes,
you draw me
but
back
I love
in.
that about you. You're like, no, we don't have to have it perfect. Let's just go. We'll figure it out. Let's get it done.
Go,
and I love that because I'll sit there and I'll bake the logic right out of it. Next thing I know, I have no plan.
But that's why we're such good friends.
Yes.
We balance each other out.
I agree.
And that's
I 100% agree.
But it's hard. It takes time to really find that right person. You have to pray and say, Lord, send the right person.
Yes,
but you can appreciate the good after you've been through a lot of bad.
That is absolutely true. And another thing about friendships you have to really be careful about is judgment.
Yes.
Like, I feel like I can be myself and not be judged by you. Even you'll put me on the path, but I don't feel like it's from a place of judgment.
Never.
And that is what crushes a lot of friendships, because there are times when we need to share things with each other that are not easy. And if you feel like you're going to be judged, that's something that is going to steer you away from that. And then you really, if you're not being vulnerable with people that you're in a relationship with, you really cannot
have a real friendship.
Say it's real.
No,
it's you're not getting to that next level. You're still on the surface, right?
Exactly, and that is a good measure of friendship when you're thinking about, what type of friendship do I really have? Is it somebody that you really, really can tell those things to that you're not able to tell anybody else? That's how you know you have a really good friend, that you have that trust there, that you've developed that. But it takes time. It takes time to develop that trust. And I think that's another thing that people make a mistake, is they try to rush into a friendship.
Oh yeah.
You can't rush into it. It has to build over time.
Yeah. And just that organic growth. I feel like one of the things that that keeps us from doing that is, like you said, all of the past hurts and issues that we have with people. So giving it time and just being honest with yourself about what it is you really want, because sometimes you meet people and they're really not looking to build true relationships.
Well, there's a lot of users out there too. There's a lot of people that see your position or whatever you have going on and just want to sort of latch onto you and just be a part of that and not really truly be your friend.
Absolutely, 100%. If it is a friendship you're seeking or access you're seeking.
That's it.
I'm in a relationship with this person because they give me access to this person or thing or whatever. Yeah. That's not going to be a foundation that you can really build on, right?
No, never. Yeah. Even if you try, it's shaky and it will fall.
It will fall. It will.
Exactly.
Yep.
So some of the keys that we talked about with building friendship at this age, because it's different.
It is different.
There you have lifelong friends, but then you have some friendships that you build later in life, like
you
we
do.
did. And I think it was
I
understanding each other's boundaries. I think that was one key. I know Deborah had to set Friday night date night. That's her date night. I don't fool with Friday. I don't say nothing. That's her date night. So I respect the boundaries that you have. You respect the boundaries that I have. And we've allowed ourselves to grow into our friendship.
I agree. And our definitions align.
Yes.
We're willing to pour into the friendship, because it's a relationship just like any other.
Right.
And you have to nurture that friendship. I can't take for granted if you, you're dependent on me to do something, or we've made a commitment, that I need to be comfortable that if you're going to follow up, or if you can't, you're going to communicate that with me. You just don't show. I've had that happen to me before. Or,
and it's hurtful.
It's very hurtful.
Yes.
It's very hurtful. and you don't feel like you should have to explain something like that to somebody who's calling themselves your friend.
Exactly,
right?
But that's when you know, and that's when you watch. You have to watch. The Bible says you got to watch and pray. You have to watch.
You do.
But it is possible because a lot of times we hear people say, "Oh, I can't find a friend." You can't.
Oh,
The Bible says, and I have to bring.
Oh yeah, you got to bring the Bible.
That
in.
if you
See, I told you she was good. Didn't I tell you she was
I
good?
try to be good. I try to be good. If you want a friend, you have to show yourself friendly.
You do.
And you have to have a friendliness, and you have to be approachable, which means you have to be able to have some level of vulnerability.
Absolutely.
But ladies, if you want to develop friendships, you can. And hey, follow us on Facebook, Woman to Woman Collaborative. We're always having mixers and events where you can meet new women, where you can create new friendships, and you can establish something that can be long lasting. So any final words, Deborah?
Well, you know what? If you're downtown this weekend participating in the Music Fest, stop by the atrium of the Westin Hotel and let's talk.
Let's talk.